Hey everybody, welcome back to Marsh RC, brought to you today by White Rose Hobbies. I'm currently on their garage, what will be their new drift facility once it is completed, to do the Traxxas TRX-4 Sport unboxing and review for you guys today. So in typical Traxxas style, they have one color of the truck on one side, one color of the truck on the other side. They have a little what's included, what's not included panel, and then they have the panel on the other side, which kind of goes over some of the features. Obviously, this big panel right here goes over what the TRX-4 is best known for, which is the portal axles. That's why everyone likes it, right? All right, so let's dive right into this thing. All right, I haven't opened one of these yet, so I've seen them, but I have not opened them yet. So first thing out of the box we have here. First thing out of the box is the remote transmitter. If I can get it out of the packaging. So with the TRX-4 Sport, to keep the cost down, it comes with the Traxxas TQ transmitter, not the TQI. So it doesn't have the additional features and channels like TQI does that comes with the Defender, the Bronco, and the tactical version. This is a basic one. You're not going to be able to add the Traxxas link or anything to it, but for this truck, it's going to be just fine. It operates the exact same way. Next thing we have is the truck. Truck comes nicely packaged. There's foam in the front and in the rear, still in the box on the rear side. Then it will come with all the goodies, you know, the instruction manual, the decals. It does have fender decals. The fender decals do not come on the truck already, in case you don't want that look, but it does come with them, and it comes with a bunch of other Traxxas decals. It also comes with a toolkit, which most Traxxas ones do, which is fantastic. And an interesting thing about this one that I don't think they've ever done before, which is black body clips. It doesn't come with the standard silver, it comes with black body clips, which is actually really cool. So next up, we got the truck. Let's dive right into the truck. The truck comes very nicely packaged. It's wrapped in plastic, and then it also has these plastic sheets on it to protect it from additional damage and just give it some more security in the packaging. So like I said, this one does not come with the fenders on there. It has them black decals in there that you can put them on. If you notice, you take a good look at this truck, good look at it. It is not a licensed body. It's just a standard, like, generic pickup truck. The nice thing about this truck is the wheelbase, though. The wheelbase is the 312 wheelbase, which is pretty much the most standard wheelbase there is out there. SCX 10s, the Traxxas Bronco, they're all running that wheelbase, so you're gonna have a lot of options for aftermarket bodies to put on this thing, which is fantastic. Traxxas really listened to you guys on this one, and all of us really. So a lot of the features that everyone wanted is in this truck, so we're gonna start heading into some of these features now. So when you come to the actual chassis, it's the standard TRX-4 frame. Looks like a TRX underneath. Doesn't look like a whole lot is different. However, there is a lot different in this, and we're going to dive into it right now. First up, we're going to work from the front to the rear. First up is the front bumper. All right, the front bumper on this thing is completely redesigned. It has a shorter front end on it, and it sits up a little bit higher, which is going to be fantastic for when you're trying to get up over some obstacles, rocks, hills, whatever the case may be, because you're going to be able to take a much steeper approach to a lot of things that you're not able to do in the TRX. Definitely can't do in the Defender, probably can't do it in the Tactical, and you can't do in the Bronco as well. So you're going to be able to take a much better approach right out of the box with this thing. Next up in the front, we're going to go over the shock towers. It's the standard shock tower. They're in all the TRX-4s out there. The nice thing about these are aluminum shock towers. They're threaded all the way up so you can adjust the preload however you choose, and it's the same ones in the rear, all metal, completely threaded. It's fantastic. Underneath, got your links up underneath here. All right, all the links on this thing are metal. Steering links are metal, the links underneath are metal, so you don't have to upgrade any of that right out of the box. Traxxas took care of you on that one. All right, behind that is a waterproof, or steering that, it's a chassis mounted, it's above. is the chassis mounted, high torque, all metal geared servo. So it's not going to have quite as much issues as some of the other TRX-4s have right out the box. It is still a little weak compared to a lot of the servos out there, and it's not going to handle a lot of what people are going to put this thing through. So it's probably still going to be one of the first things that a lot of people are going to replace, just like with any RTR truck out there. Sitting behind that is the Traxxas Titan 21 turn 550 series motor right here. This thing is tested, it's proven. It can get dirty, it can get wet, it can get grimy, and it's still going to put out the power, it's going to put out the torque. This motor is plenty power, plenty torque for this truck. All right. Next up, beside that, on the driver's side, is the Traxxas XL5 waterproof ESC. And the nice thing about this, there's a couple nice things about this ESC. Number one, if you look at these cables, they are nice and beefy cables. They are not the little flimsy things that come on a lot of stuff. Next thing is you have a plug off here to the side that you can hook into, well, a wireless winch controller if you choose. You can hook it into a wireless light controller, a BEC if you upgrade your servo. And this ESC itself has been reprogrammed, just like all the other TRX-4s out there, to be able to run a lot more efficiently the way we want it, with the drag and the settings for crawl mode, trail mode, race practice, all that good stuff. The other nice thing about this is it has a very wide range of batteries that you can use. You can use the nickel metal hydrate batteries, whether it be the 6-cell, the 7-cell. It can also run 2S and 3S LiPo, which is fantastic. I know a lot of people like to run 3S. I run 3S in almost all my trucks that I own at home. The other thing is it continues with the nice, thick, beefy wires coming into the motor, and the motor is really nice. It has the bullet cables, so you can just disconnect and reconnect them without having to cut, solder, or anything crazy like that. So if you want to swap out motors, you can do that fairly easily. Which segue right into the transmission. So this is a single-speed transmission. It's not the two-speed like you had in the Defender, the Tactical, and the Bronco. The gearing in this is about right in between where the first gear and the second gear would be in the other three models. So it's going to be right in between those. Nice thing about the transmission as well, all gears in this thing are metal except for the spur gear, which isn't a big deal. So all of them are metal except for the spur gear. The spur gear does have a slipper clutch on it, which is a nice feature as well. This thing also, Traxxas, listen to everyone, it has the lock differentials, so you don't have the ability to lock and unlock your differentials in the front or rear. They come locked already, you don't have to worry about it, and you're good to go. Moving on into the back, not much here is different from the front. Same shock towers, really. It's the same shocks, all aluminum shocks with fully threaded, so you can adjust your preload. Which brings us to the rear. The rear is different. The new bumper, this is a much more low profile bumper than was on the other models. And one additional feature that was added is down here, it has a spot that you can put a hitch in to pull a trailer or whatever you feel like dragging along, camper, whatever. It does have the low profile body mounts in the back to accommodate for the bed of a pickup truck. However, they do adjust up a little bit if you were to get a different body, all right? And if that's still not high enough, like if you were gonna go to like a Cherokee or something, you can get different body mounts to put in here to be able to get that height that you want. Speaking on aftermarket stuff at this point, the front and rear bumpers, they are square pegs that go in here. However, any standard round peg bumpers will fit into either one of these. Traxxas wanted to make sure that you guys had plenty of options on aftermarket, and you didn't have to just stick to a limited few pieces. As well with the front bumper, I forgot earlier, the front bumper does have this fake winch on the front. I do believe, I don't know if you can take it off or not. I haven't actually taken this thing apart. Yes, you can. There's a screw there, you can take that right off and be able to mount on a working winch if that was something that you desired. The next thing up, battery tray. So the battery tray on this thing is nice. It's the same as all the other Traxxas ones out there, or the TRX-4s out there. It's adjustable. So if you have a thicker battery, you have the hold down clamp one way. If you have a bit of a thinner battery, you just flip it around, right in, and there you go. And you still have more options. under here, there's a little cutout, a little recessed area here to run short packs in. If you want to get a shorter pack, all you need is a Velcro strap to strap your battery in down there, which is fantastic. The runtime on those are shorter. I run short packs on all my trucks. I don't own anything bigger than a 1500 milliamp battery. The nice thing about those is they do sit down lower, they weigh less, so your center of gravity is going to be a little bit lower on them. The downside is the runtime is a lot shorter. However, they're a lot smaller batteries, so you can easily throw a couple in a LiPo bag and carry them with you out on the trail and swap them out, no problem, and you're back up and running. That pretty much covers everything except for the receiver box. It is the standard TRX-4 waterproof receiver box. It has a bunch of gaskets and grease in there to make it sure it's waterproof. One nice feature about this, in case you didn't know, on the top right here, there's actually a little rubber cap that you can just pull this cap off, and that is the button right down in there is to rebind your receiver to a transmitter. If that's something you have to do, you can do that without having to take the whole receiver box apart. So that is a very nice feature. Next up is the rock slides. There's rock slides on each side, obviously. They are adjustable. They can slide in and out. So if you were to get a different aftermarket body, you can slide them in and out to accommodate the width of that body. Not only that, you can swap them out for some aftermarket rock sliders if you choose to. That pretty much covers most of this truck except for one thing, and I'll save it until last. All the bearings in this are sealed bearings. That's a big deal. Most RTR trucks out there do not come with sealed bearings. They'll come with the open-faced bearings that has the metal on the inside and the outside. That is a huge improvement for an RTR because it allows you to run through the water, run through the muck, run through the dirt and the sand, and not have to worry about your bearings getting all gummed up and disgusting and have to constantly tear everything apart and clean them or replace them even. These will last you a pretty decent amount of time. Other than that, that is everything on this truck that we needed to go over. The bottom side, not much really different. You do have the 3-link in the front, the 4-link in the back. You have they are metal. You have the plastic sliding telescoping drive shafts on each side. The rear is centered, and then you have the offset in the front. Like I said, they are plastic. It's about the only plastic piece of drive train on this thing other than the spur gear. Everything else is metal. All the gears and the pole axles are metal, and the differentials are metal. All links are metal. It actually, the only thing else that it doesn't have metal is the steering servo, or the servo horn. It's the only thing else that's not metal. Everything other than that is metal, so it's going to be able to last you a long time and take some abuse on it. Outside of that, guys, there's not much. I do have a ramp here for some people who'd like to see the flex ability on this thing. Let's put the body back on it for the flex portion. Still touching. Not touching up front. We're still touching right here. If we move up any more, it lifts off the ground. We're off the ground right here. Back it up just a hair. So that's about the flex that you're gonna get out of this thing. That's pretty good flex for a truck that's RTR. And the price point on this thing is averaging around $350, $360. So it's a great entry level truck if you're just trying to get in it. Or if you just want a new truck to go out there and tear up the trails and the rocks on, this thing will handle it. This thing has a lot of power and it's great. Alright. As always, guys, if you like what you see, please hit that subscribe button, share, like, and stay tuned for more product reviews brought to you by White Rose Hobbies. And I will leave a link to their Facebook and to their website in the description below. That's it. Get out there and drive, guys. Hey everybody, I'm on my way home from White Rose Hobbies from making the unboxing and review video of the TRX-4 Sport, and it occurred to me that I forgot two important things. Number one being the front and rear locking differentials and the 2-speed transmission. Now we know that those don't come in that truck, however, Traxxas will be releasing those parts individually in a kit so that if later on down the road you decide that's something that you want to have in that truck, you will have that option. So that's kind of cool of them to be doing it. The other thing is the parts that Traxxas will be releasing for that truck. There's a bumper coming out that has lights already on it. There's also we're going to call it a bed rack for lack of a better term. And with that bed rack, it'll have a little rack on it on the top, kind of like a roof rack will have. And then it'll have side racks as well, where there's actually the recovery boards that a lot of guys like to strap on their rigs. You'll be able to strap them right on the side. It may or may not come with it. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I'll get a picture of the accessories that Traxxas will be releasing and put them up at the end of this video. Anyway, that's it. I just wanted to make this quick little ending to the video covering the two things that I forgot.